Um, I'm a little bit skeptical about this industrial sovereignty. Part of the reason why battery plants are in China is that China has lithium resources, the other places are Chile, and so on. I think normal economics will drive where the batteries are to be made. And remember, there are three stages in battery manufacture. There's the manufacture of the cell, there's the manufacture of the battery pack, and then there's the manufacture of the electric vehicle. And those can be distributed. So I don't think people are going to go crazy about trying to build a battery plant in every country. It might not make sense. Definitely not in Norway. It doesn't make sense at all with a market of 400,000 units a year. In China, with 25 million units a year being sold now, that's a huge difference. And you can
on
make
that point,
big
let me ask you
factory
on that point. Let me ask you on that very point, because back in February, there's the green light that was given for this sort of European consortium to make it a strategic priority to build these batteries. And it's been strongly hinted that the French government, one of those conditions for bailing out Renault is to join in with the likes of Total, of Saft, of Peugeot in building that electric battery. And Renault seems ready to go along with it. So can there be a European giant?
Oh yeah, there will definitely be giants in Europe, because in every continent there will be manufacturers of battery cells and battery makers. The question is, will they be a European giant or will they be somebody else's giant? But that doesn't really matter anymore, okay? It's not like somebody's going to cut you off. What you need to worry about is whether they cut you off from lithium. And that's a whole different story. But it makes sense to do things where it's most economical. What drives a car purchase? It's price and design and what people want, okay? And if you can't get the car to them at the right price, they're not going to buy it. In Norway, yeah, people can afford cars. In Asia, like Professor Dudenhoff just mentioned, yeah, there is a big issue. Price is a huge issue. And we just can't say, hey, we're going to give everybody a $25,000 credit here. It won't work. And even the Chinese are struggling with this now. They have been the most aggressive on electric vehicles.
Let me ask you, David, you're at General Motors, it's 2008, and all of a sudden there's this huge crash and the big motor companies in America have to be bailed out by the government. That's the last time we had a major crisis like this one.
Right.
And GM turns it around. So what did the Americans get right in 2008, which we didn't perhaps do as much here in Europe at the time? Did we waste an opportunity?
I think one of the big challenges that even the American companies still face is, how do you wean the American public off big pickup trucks, big sport utilities, and how do you get them into electric vehicles when they are very, very far from charging stations? Okay, there is a big market in the US. About 50% of the market is rural market. So that's one challenge. But what did the companies do right? General Motors, what they did right was really refocus away from market into technology and profitability, and become a real company in that sense.
What do you mean by move away from market into technology?
Okay. Before that, if you remember, GM had 5 divisions. They had Pontiac, Oldsmobile, Buick. All of those got weaned away. Now there's Buick, Chevrolet, GMC, lot less investment in new product for each of those divisions, but more focused on technology and bringing the electric vehicle. In fact, until this year, GM sold more electric vehicles than Tesla. Elon Musk gets the news, but GM actually sold more electric vehicles. So it was that move, and that made a difference. Now, in Europe, the challenge has been, yes, BMW, Mercedes are all ready to do that, but does their market really ask for it? Now, on the smaller end, for Volkswagen, Opel, Renault, Peugeot, they are in this mass market where the profitability is almost zero, and that's where they are struggling. So whether you make them electric or not, those vehicles are not going to be profitable going forward.